This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And we love movies.
And
yes, we do.
what movie series do we love most of all? Above all things?
A little thing called Star Wars. You may have heard about it.
And it's a little indie film.
And I never thought this would come. This backlash. You know, we've seen backlash and anger and disappointment directed towards Star Wars, but we never thought it would be directed to one of the most popular and famous characters yet. Baby Yoda facing some backlash.
No!
I know. Can you believe it?
I cannot, honestly, but we'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that.
So we're getting into Baby Yoda backlash. Also, some interesting news regarding Boba Fett. Again, kind of attached to similar news we've been talking about in terms of the Mandalorian developments, but we are getting into that. Also, local casting calls. We have several really good ones, and we're gonna end the show with what we're watching and what I think you should be watching also. But first, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Hit that like, comment down below, join the conversation. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you very much. Give us a share, give us a like. What do you think? Are you part of the Baby Yoda backlash? We will get into it. Also, social media, Instagram and Twitter, @HubOnHollywood. Give us a follow. But, yeah, so let's get right into it.
Okay,
so Baby Yoda, in the hot seat right now.
Yeah, so a little bit of spoilers for Season 2, Episode 2. We're going to be talking about that. So, apparently, in this episode, Baby Yoda does what baby animals do, and he was being a little bit naughty, and he kind of ate some eggs that belonged to a space frog lady, and that she really was like her last brood and her last chance to continue her family line, and they were very important, and he thought they were a delicious snack. Some people, I was completely surprised to go hop online the next day, and people are like, he shouldn't have done that. Oh, are genuinely upset about Baby Yoda eating some space frog eggs. And
yeah, so let's set the stage. Yeah, in this episode, Mando and the child, they are hired to deliver this frog lady, this alien lady, who has her eggs in this glass chamber, and she's trying to transport them to another planet, and that's where Mando comes in, and she's trying to reunite with her husband, so as you mentioned, they can continue their family lineage. But of course, things don't go smoothly, as in with every adventure regarding Mando and the Baby Yoda. Mando's ship gets intercepted by X-Wing fighters, which was really great to see in this episode.
That was really
seeing
fun.
The X-Wing fighters go into action, chasing them, and they end up, Baby Yoda, Mando, and the passenger, they end up crash landing on an ice planet, and then that's when we find out that this planet, they're not alone. There are these Arctic ice spiders that range from, small little baby spiders to these tall, gigantic, gargantuan spiders. And yeah, it's during this episode where Baby Yoda, as soon as he sees these eggs it looks like a jar of pickled eggs. And so if you are Baby Yoda, I would imagine that looks appetizing, and immediately Baby Yoda tosses his food and he's interested in those eggs. And throughout the episode, he eats 3 of the eggs, and as you mentioned, this caused uproar. I'm not sure all across the internet, but enough voices were heard that
Disney
responded.
Yeah, Disney responded. Do you have that response in front of you?
Yeah, so Lucasfilm's creative art manager, Phil Sostak, he said the following, quote, "For the record, Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian makes it clear that the Frog Lady's eggs are unfertilized, like chicken eggs many of us enjoy. But obviously, chickens aren't sentient beings, and the child eating the eggs is intentionally disturbing for comedic relief. Fans of horror know that disturbing things make some of us laugh, and some of us squirm, or both. Your mileage may vary." And that's what I got out of it. Some of the early complaints about it was, the sympathy for the mother. Of course, what she's doing is she's risking life and limb literally to save her babies and to produce offspring. And in the episode, some really dark humor that we don't normally see in Star Wars, but that dark humor of Baby Yoda, and they played it in a very funny way, sneaking the eggs, and the great, back and forth between Baby Yoda and Mando, telling him, no, I said no.
Right,
and,
right.
But I remember watching it with my girlfriend, and we were both kind of like, again, smiling, but also in shock, and like, Baby Yoda, no, stop that. Because it was funny and also disturbing, but I got it. But apparently not everybody did.
Well, these are the challenges of parenting in outer space, parenting a small alien who likes to eat anything and everything. You cannot take your eyes off of Baby Yoda, because later in the episode, he eats another creature's eggs. He eats the space spider egg, and that pisses off the space spider mommy. Which gets them chased by the space spiders. So, look, I'm going to come at this from a mommy perspective and say that I identify 100% with Mando on this one. And I've done some math for you, James, okay? I've done some math. So Baby Yoda is 50 years old, right? And they live to be about 1,000. So
give or take,
if you extrapolate that, he's about 5 years old in human years. I have a 5-year-old, James. I have to constantly chase him and make sure that he's not doing crazy things. And even when you tell him no, he does it again. And he loves these little tangerine, like the little mini oranges. If I don't watch that kid, he will eat 15 of them in a row. And you catch him sneaking them out of the refrigerator and all that. So I identify 100%. I think it's hilarious that Mando is trying to get Yoda, the Baby Yoda, who, the child, to stop being a child. And I think it's also hilarious that we're dealing with a frog lady when we saw in season 1, Baby Yoda just chomping down a frog, completely whole
Baby Yoda's
and alive.
Ruthless.
He is ruthless, but he's a little alien, and he's just learning, James. He's just learning. And you know what? She's got tons of eggs. She's got tons of eggs in that little capsule.
And shame on her. Shame on her for keeping her eyes off the eggs at any point.
Exactly.
Of course. Now, granted, you are in a ship that you hired, they'll deliver you, and there are things that you expect, like, safe travel, safe passage. But at the same time, these are your last eggs. You're not just going to leave them, rolling around on the shelf. You're going to be holding on to them.
They were in the back of the ship, unsupervised. That's.
So I'm not. I'm not blaming the mother, but I understand that she should have done better too. Come on, frog lady.
Yeah, everyone could have done better here, but you know what, James? You know what? It's not real, people. It's fake. It's a TV show. These are
historical records that happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I don't get it. I just don't understand the people that get so upset, says the girl who was so upset over Kylo Ren, who gets so upset over something that is, it's fantasy and it's fun and it's Baby Yoda and it's, come on. It's not like they ruined the whole. It's not like they've ruined all of Star Wars because of plot problems or anything like that. It's just it's a little bit of fun. And if dark humor is not your thing, just watch the next episode. But that's my take. What do you think, James?
So again, I like the dark humor. I got it. My girlfriend and I enjoyed it while we were watching it. Again, in shock and horror, but also we got the levity in it also. So I liked it.
Yeah.
Again, still excited for the season. I very much like the episodic strategy and angles that it's doing with these mini adventures on this grand arc of trying to reunite Baby Yoda with the species. But each episode, it's like a, monster of the week kind of a thing. And so far it's working. It's expanded the universe, and I do enjoy it. And speaking of expanding the universe, Boba Fett miniseries, I understand, it's in works. It's in talks. What's going on?
Okay, so we've got a report. We've got a report from Deadline.com that Disney Plus's Mandalorian might already be getting an offshoot. That we might already be getting a spin-off in the form of a Boba Fett mini-series. So it's not... So the third season of The Mandalorian, not officially greenlit, but they had been planning on filming at the end of this year. But now there's been a little bit of back and forth because this brand new project might be in production first. You know what I mean? So they might be working on filming as early as later this month and early next month on a Boba Fett miniseries before they start filming season 3 of The Mandalorian, which has already been in pre-production for a number of months. That's very exciting news because we've only seen Boba Fett for a few seconds at the end of the first episode of this season, and he was dressed as a Tusken Raider. We don't know what's going on with him. He knows that Mando has his armor. So there's lots of theories going around about what this miniseries could entail. And does that mean that does Boba Fett kidnap Baby Yoda and you know, and they go on their own adventure? Like I heard that one theory like that, but I'm not sure what it would entail, but I'm super excited to see what it might be. Obviously, we're using the same actor from the prequels, who is back to reprise his role. He looks a little worse from where we are chronologically here is 4 years after the Return of the Jedi, after the fall of the Empire. And I'm loving everything to do with how this universe, how the galaxy is dealing with the power vacuum of the Empire. And I think it could be really fantastic. So that also lends kind of a little preview to how significant Boba Fett is going to be in The Mandalorian this season. And we haven't seen it yet, but that means that there's just that much more hype for where the story is going.
With this, I'm afraid that Disney hasn't learned its lesson, because with the movies, when it came to the Star Wars movies, they were pumping them out, you know, one after the other when it did, you know, the new trilogy or the side stories. And I think some of them suffered because they rushed so many movies out, including The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Solo. Are they doing that? Are they making that same mistake with the streaming service on Disney Plus by, hey, people really like this, they're spending a lot of money, let's, you know, crank as much money and green stuff out of this as we can get and do all these spin-offs. And I'm not a big fan of, you know, of having a spin-off just for the sake of doing it and expanding the universe and using that excuse. And so I'm a little bit concerned.
Well, the money is definitely there. The audience is definitely there. And it seems like Star Wars has been doing a lot better with its Netflix series. Not Netflix, with its Disney Plus products, with its streaming products, and getting a lot more overwhelmingly positive fan reviews in that regard. So, I mean, as long as the money is flowing, they're going to keep pumping it out. But like you said, there is that concern. There's also another Disney Plus Star Wars related series that's in development. All we know about it is that it's female centered, and that it's going to be written and showrun by Leslie Headland, and it is from an alternate timeline than the usual Star Wars universe. So that's another spin-off that might be in production. Female-centered, martial arts-driven, they said. But not much other information when it comes to that. To your question, there is always the danger of oversaturating, but I think right now if they continue to put out things like The Mandalorian that are as good a quality and storytelling and well-paced, I think that they've probably got a winning formula to keep bringing in the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching for a long time to come. I don't think anything's going to slow it down.
Well, time will tell, I guess. But so far, they're killing it with The Mandalorian. I'm super excited for how this season has started so far. Really excited for the teases that we've been given. And yeah, we'll just see. Are you looking forward to more spin-offs? Are you looking forward to a Boba Fett miniseries? Are you angry at Baby Yoda? Have you tossed the Baby Yoda plush toy in the garbage because of what happened? If you have... I think you have bigger problems. But yeah, let us know what you think about this whole controversy. Yeah.
Hug it tight. Hug it tight. Hug it tight. Hug it tight.
Hug it super tight.
Leave Baby Yoda alone, okay?
Yeah.
He's only 5 in human years. Like, cut him a break. Cut him a break. They look delicious. Like, they look like deviled egg or whatever. Anyways, James.
Yeah.
If you want your opportunity to be on the big screen or to be on the streaming screen in your own home, there are a number of opportunities that are coming to the Massachusetts area. Everything has been picking up later in the year here. This was, as we've mentioned a few times, this was supposed to be one of the biggest years, 2020, for films and TV shows recording here in Massachusetts. That all got put on hold. Everything is coming back slowly but surely. So always excited to have these casting calls. Whether you're union or non-union, you have a day off, sign up for these casting agencies. Whenever there's an opportunity, you can go spend a day, see some celebrities, make a little money. It's really exciting, and it is uniquely... there are uniquely a lot of these opportunities here in the New England region. So let's jump into it, James. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, Boston Casting, we're looking for a white male in his 20s. Acting experience is a plus, but what's also a bigger plus is you're going to need dreadlocks. We're looking for white males in their 20s with dreadlocks and some acting experience. So you're being asked to send your resume, headshot, any contact information to Boston Casting TV 1@gmail.com. Boston Casting TV, the number 1 at gmail.com, presumably for a TV series. Also, Boston Casting looking for an upcoming project, looking for African-American male actors 14 to 16 years old. They're willing to go a little bit older just as long as you can pass for somebody 14 to 16 years old. You as well, email your photo, headshot, resume, description of your acting experience. Send all that to Boston Casting Submit number 4 at gmail.com. Boston Casting Submit 4 at gmail.com.
Awesome. Okay, and so CP Casting. CP Casting is looking for an experienced male actor. Do you have the acting bug? Do you have the Shakespeare going on? Experienced male actors 18 to 28 for a Netflix movie that is filming in our area. They're looking for any ethnicity who lives in New England for a speaking role on a Netflix feature film shooting in Massachusetts, multiple days of consecutive work between late January and early February. So they're looking for an email. Send them an email with your name, phone, height. They've got this highlighted, height, availability, and a headshot and resume to cpcastingsubmission@gmail.com. cpcastingsubmission@gmail.com. We've also got, James, casting is going on for a brand new film. They are looking for Caucasian and African-American men and women stand-ins. We've talked about stand-ins before. You're standing in for the actual actor and actress. You get more work than a normal, say, just background extra.
And you don't have to be a stand-up to be a stand-in. This is maybe a stand-up person.
Are you a stand-up guy? All right, James.
Ignore me.
All right. Come on. So they're looking for people who can represent shoppers between the ages of 30 and 65, employees between the ages of 18 and 24. Must be available in mid-November. This is going to be between November 17th and 19th. They would like you. Oh, and they will be administering COVID tests the day before the work.
So you should assume any of these casting calls, you're going to get, something up your
COVID
nose.
testing. Yeah. All of them. So, work that into your plans if this is something that you want to go for. They are COVID testing before they let you on set, sometimes while you're on set, and etc. So look out for that. So for this opportunity, please submit your picture, resume to office@idipro, that's edipro .com. So office@edipro.com. And in the subject line, write Black Friday. So the Black Friday is what they're using for this.
Oh goodness!
For that film.
The holidays. So this is if it's for Black Friday, that's very soon. Sounds like.
That is the code word that they're using for it. I don't know that that's necessarily the title of the film, but it could be a holiday. It could be a holiday gig. It could be a holiday film they're slapping together. So if that fits your description, go for it, man. And best of luck.
Good luck. Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. Got to plug the YouTube. If you are watching us there, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, comment down below. Do you know anybody? Yeah, all these buttons down below. They're up here. They're over there. Probably not, but hey. Also on Instagram, social media, Twitter, @HubOnHollywood. Check us out. Now, speaking about checking things out, let's talk about what we've been watching recently. And I just finished season 1 of this new show on Netflix called Auntie Donna, Big Ol' House of Fun. And this is a slapstick, surreal, absurd comedy sketch show. And it's actually based off a YouTube channel off the same name, Auntie Donna, which follows 3 comedians in Australia. Mm-hmm. But they've come to the States and they made this new show. It's produced by Ed Helms and features a lot of actors that are known for their weird humor, including Weird Al Yankovic, Comedy Bang Bang, Scott Aukerman, Kristen Schaal, Anthony Starr, and Jack Quaid from The Boys. So if you're a big fan of The Boys on Amazon Prime, which I am, and which I talked about previously, go watch that show. Anthony Starr, Jack Quaid, they also appear in this. This is six episodes, and again, they run about 17, 20 minutes, so you can go right through them pretty quickly. But this is such a weird, again, imagine if you like Comedy Bang Bang, if you like Strangers with Candy, if you like Portlandia or 30 Rock, those comedies with absurd humor and absurd scenarios and things that really push the boundaries. This show is going to be one of a very funny, hopefully funny and enjoyable show for you. It's on Netflix. Again, 6 episodes just came out this week. The gang, the 3 Australian comedians, I've been watching them for several years on YouTube, and so I'm really happy that they got this opportunity. Apparently, they pitched this show to all the streaming services, but the lower tier streaming services, they're planning to go to Amazon Prime, Quibi. They're looking at all these other small streaming services, but they said, you know what? Let's try the big dogs first. Let's go with Netflix. Let's see if they bite. And Netflix bought. And so, really happy for them. Really happy for their success. Go watch Auntie Donna, Big Ol' House of Fun if you're into the weird comedy on Netflix.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and so I've got one also, James. I've been watching Kim's Convenience on Netflix. This came out back in 2016. Yeah, it came out back in 2016. There's 4 seasons of it, and it follows the adventures of a Korean-Canadian family who runs a convenience store. And so far, pretty funny. I as a daughter of immigrants, I like watching a show about immigrants, and the only criticism I have so far is I would rather hear them speaking actual Korean than the really bad accents that are going on there, because I don't think they don't even sound like Korean accents, but they're whatever. It's just bad English. I'd rather hear the Korean and read the subtitles than the other way around. But Kim's Convenience is interesting because one of the main actors from Kim's Convenience has been cast as the title role in the new Marvel's Shang-Chi that's coming out. So I kind of wanted to see how this guy rolls, and I think so Kim's Convenience pretty funny, and you get a little bit of preview of the acting. I believe the guy's name is Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, who's going to be in the Marvel movie. So that's kind of, I've just been doing a little research, doing a little backtrack, see what I can find out, because I'm excited for all of the new Marvel films that are going to be coming out. So Kim's Convenience, I recommend. It's funny so far. I'm only 3 episodes in, but my brother loves it, so I'm giving it a chance. Anything else, James?
Let's see. I feel like I've been watching. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm back in King of the Hill mode, so I'm just going through the seasons of King of the Hill. Yeah. Great TV show. I watched it as a kid, and I appreciated the humor then as a child, and as an adult, the humor it hits in a different way too, but it's just as funny and just as great. So, King of the Hill. It's one of those underrated Fox cartoons.
Yeah, speaking of humor hitting in a different way, we also watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder. Yeah, that hits really different. Hits really different as an adult and as a parent watching like way
Was that
many
Nikki's
years
first
later.
time?
Nikki watched it. Yeah, my
What do you
5-year-old
think?
watched it, and he loved it. His favorite part is when the little girl turns into a blueberry, and now
Right.
he's running around the house saying, "I've got a daughter for a blueberry. I've got a blueberry for a daughter." I'm like, okay,
That's great.
all right, buddy. So yeah, we've been having fun over here, James. And if you want to have more fun,
Right.
tune in, watch us on the Hub on Hollywood. I think we're pretty fun, James. I think we're pretty cool. We talk about a lot
Our moms think we're cool.
Fun. Yeah, if my mommy thinks I'm cool, right?
Yeah. And I
but-
know we mentioned the watching, but I forgot to mention you can also listen to us on any major podcasting streaming service, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple
right.
Podcasts. We're all
Yeah,
around. So
exactly.
take us with you. Take us with
Yeah.
you wherever you go.
And if you've got something that you want us to watch and talk about, go ahead and leave that in the comments. We love hearing from you. We try to get back to you when we can. And we will continue to do so. If you've got nothing else going on, come on, let's have fun together.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. Next week, I'm sure we're going to have more reviews, more breaking down of The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda's dastardly deeds. But until then, I'm James.
I'm Jamie. See you next time.
Bye.